Well, to move on to another thinker that you seem to have engaged quite a bit with, and one that I had no familiarity before reading your works, Dennis the Carthusian. Before
Hmm.
we get to your book about angels, I just wanted to ask, who was this and why should more Catholics know about him? Because you brought forth quite a bit of interesting material from him in your books.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Dennis the Carthusian. I have to say, I wonder where he found the time to write his works, because if I don't think you've ever had any experience of the Carthusian life, but it's a very full life, with a lot of office, not only the regular office and the night office, but the office of the dead and the office of Our Lady. But anyway, somehow Dennis in the 15th century was able to produce works that now, in the critical edition, uh, have been collected in 42 volumes, which is extraordinary. So he's one of the most prolific authors of of the Middle Ages, and he wrote commentaries on more or less all the books of the Bible, um, on the sentences, the classic work, on which expounded by the scholastics. Um, he wrote very helpful little readers' guides to the Summa, um, and um, and that's just the beginning. I mean, there are so many other mystical works. I love, for example, two useful little books. A commentary on the office hymns of the Church,
Hmm.
drawing out the doctrinal and spiritual meaning of the words sung in the liturgy, and then his Expositio Missae, which is a commentary on the Mass, a kind of spiritual exegesis of the words and ceremonies of the Mass. Many medieval authors wrote such commentaries, and St. Thomas Aquinas himself did in two places in his works, and Bonaventure did. So, prolific author. He wrote about everything, as I've said. He wrote a little treatise on the military life. He was not a
Hmm.
soldier, but he wrote a treatise on how a good Christian soldier should behave.
Hmm.
So a quite remarkable theologian, and indebted to St. Thomas. Some would say that a sort of Neoplatonist element is perhaps more strongly emphasized there, but um, I have always found him an author from whom I can learn a great deal, particularly in understanding St. Thomas.